All right, good morning, Sphere One members. Hope everybody's doing great on this Thursday morning. This is Mike Schumard. Want to thank everybody for taking time to tune in. We got a great webinar this morning with our good friend Mike Mayer. Give us just about a minute. We got some folks logging in, and we'll get started with this webinar in just a minute. So give us a minute, and we'll get started. All right, let's kick this off this morning. Good morning, Sphere One. Mike Schumard here. Want to thank everybody for taking time to hop on our webinar this morning. Got a great topic on how to drive leads with digital marketing when you don't have an e-commerce site. I met Mike Mayer, who's our presenter. He is actually the CEO of Main Event Digital, providing full service digital marketing services for small to mid-sized manufacturers and distributors. He has great experience really helping distributors like yourself market their companies and things like that. And as Mike and I talked a little bit and kind of talked about him presenting some content for you, our distributors, we really discussed, the value of digital marketing when you don't have an e-commerce site, right? With so many of us out there saying, hey, maybe e-commerce doesn't make sense for me, right? The way I go to market, the way I work with my customers, it just doesn't make sense for my business right now. But what can I do to really drive my digital platforms to grow my business? And Mike just had some tremendous ideas, and I thought it'd be a great value for him to present that to everybody today. So Mike, we're excited to have you. A couple housekeeping items, members. If you have any questions as we're going through the presentation, feel free to type them into the questions platform, and we'll answer those after the fact. And I can also connect you with Mike. That might be a better way if you have some specific questions about your business, maybe about your website and your marketing efforts. I'll send the recording out to everybody with copy to Mike, and you can connect with Mike directly and kind of pick his brain a little bit and ask him some specific questions about your company. So with that, Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. Thank you so much for being willing to put this educational piece together for us, and let's do this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity. So let's get right into it. So we're talking today, as Mike mentioned, how to drive leads with digital marketing when you don't have an e-commerce site. So the first thing to do is to get your house in order. We're going to want to enhance your existing website by answering these questions. Why do you exist? Make sure you have your mission, your vision, your values all prevalent and easily visible on your website, be it on your homepage or on your About Us page, but make sure people know why you exist in the first place. Next question to answer is, why are you better than the competition? Make sure you are providing your differentiators. Typically, those differentiators are your value-added services. As we all know, as a distributor, we have a lot of competition out there selling the exact same products. What differentiates us from the competition is these value-added services like inventory management or prefab services or tool resharpening or energy audits. There's so many of these that I'm sure you guys have. So make sure that is prevalent and obvious on your website. Indicate what you sell. It seems pretty obvious, but I see a lot of distributors not really doing a great job of indicating what they're selling. Why should I trust you? So that's probably one of the biggest challenges that I see distributors having. They're not building trust on their website. So what we recommend is providing third-party seals. So use the Sphere One logo. Use the Better Business Bureau logo. Show that you're PCI compliant, that you have a secure website. Try to build trust by using third parties to vouch for you. Supplier logos are a great way to build trust. If you're selling for Milwaukee Tools or Black & Decker, these are well-known, recognizable logos that help people to understand that, okay, these suppliers are working with this distributor. So this distributor, I should trust them also. And peer recommendations. Highly recommend these. So we recommend video testimonials as the best way to show that your customers' peers are vouching for your company. So video testimonials don't need to be overly complicated. Ask your customers to pick up their phones, record a 10, 20, 30-second video talking about how they work with you and what's gone right and why they like you, and post those on your website. Super simple. And you can upload them for free to YouTube. Now, the second best way, which I encourage you to do both, is to have written testimonials on your site also. Now, I see a lot of us with written testimonials with just text, no photos of the person giving the testimonial, no company name, not the person's name, not even included sometimes. Maybe it's just Joe B, and without job titles. So include all of that. You're wanting to build trust that this is a real person vouching for your company. Who works at your company? People, your customers, your leads don't want to work with a company. They want to work with people. So make that obvious. Show who works at your company. So pictures help, their job titles. It's great to show that you have an active, real place where people are coming to barbecues or counter days, and you're showing other humans and indicating what they do there. How do customers take the next step? So that's an important one where I see a lot miss on this. So include calls to action on your site. Make it really easy to be contacted. I highly recommend you including your phone and your email address in your header and your footer. A contact us form is definitely a must-have, and give folks the ability to fill out a contact us form on every page. Why not? Just make it easy for folks to get in touch with you. Live chat is also a no-brainer. You can get it for free. I use a system called TalkTo, TAWK.to. With that, you can even set up proactive live chat, where when a customer is on your website for a minute or 30 seconds, you can proactively pop up a message saying, hey, I see you're, welcome. I see you might be having some issues. Can I help you? And I love the tool Calendly. Again, this is another free tool where you can wire that into, let's say, one of your salesmen's or multiple salesmen's calendars, like their Outlook calendar, their Google calendar, and it gives your leads the ability to go and set up meetings, and those meetings then will show up on everyone's calendars automatically. It makes things so much easier to set up time to talk. And you'll see throughout this deck, which we will share, that there are a bunch of learn more links. Feel free to go through the slides and click on those, and we'll go into more detail on all of the content that I'm presenting here today. Next, demonstrate that you're real, you're an expert, and you're active. These might seem obvious, but build out your social media networks. At a minimum, you want to do as much as you possibly can on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Glassdoor. That's where you're going to find most of your target demographic and potential new employees. This seems so simple, but to build up some following and to get your content out there, invite your employees to follow you and to share and like your content. So what I do is I have a canned message that I send out via Slack, another free tool, to all of the folks that work for me on a monthly basis. I put a reminder on my calendar, and it is a request. Please follow us on all of our social media networks. Please share our content. Please like our content. And then I provide them with links to all of those social media networks. And you're going to want a strategy for social. I mean, social is the best place to demonstrate that you're real. This is where people are going to validate that you're a legit company. So you're going to want a strategy. This doesn't need to be overly complicated. Just come up with a strategy of what you want to talk about to demonstrate your industry expertise. So come up with a bunch of topics. Then identify what type of content you're going to actually build based on those topics. Are you going to write a blog article? Are you going to create a short video, an infographic, just a graphic? Is it just going to be photographs? There's so many options of types of content. So then write down per topic what kind of content you're going to create. Identify which channels, like I mentioned, LinkedIn or Facebook, where you're going to post that content, and build out a calendar. So you don't want to have to every day coming into work and thinking, what should I do with social today? Like that method doesn't work, and it puts a lot of stress, and you know what happens? You just ignore your social. So do this once a month, prepare, and you'll be ready to go every day posting your content. And there's definitely tools like a Hootsuite. If you want to spend some money, I think Hootsuite's like $25 a month, where you can schedule all of this content to go out automatically. So you can set it up at the beginning of the month and not have to think about it. So that would be a great option for you. Citation cleanup. This is a frequently missed step in the process to demonstrate that you're real and an expert and active. So start up your Google My Business page, totally free. Your Bing Places page, free. Yelp, free. There are about 1,000 of these types of sites. Maybe 20 are active that people actually use. These are the yellow pages of the current decade. And what I'm seeing a lot is that maybe someone set up one of these listings at some point, but your contact information changes. You move locations. Your website address changes. What I find, and one of the things we do as a major cleanup, is get everything in sync so that if anyone drops onto any of these directories, they're able to find you easily. And now let's talk about driving leads. This is why we're all here. It's going to start with a simple landing page. So we talked about getting your website ready. That you need when people are looking for you. Now we're going to go out looking for people, and we don't want to necessarily drive them to your homepage or to your website in general. We want to drive them to something that is not as busy. So I highly recommend picking up a secondary platform. I like an Unbounce or an Instapage. There are thousands of these platforms out there and all different price ranges. The two I'm listing have great functionality, allow you to do some A/B split testing, and have a bunch of extensions that you can plug in. It just makes the whole process easy. You don't need to know any coding. It's all drag and drop. So one of the benefits is you won't have your header, you won't have your footer. It just eliminates all the distractions. It eliminates all the links to all of your other pages. We want to keep people tunnel vision to your call to action. So on this page, create simple content. This is not just about your company again. We're going to want to find a reason that you're bringing people there, that you're going to build your marketing to bring them there for that reason. So let's throw out an example of an energy audit. You want to offer free energy audits to help folks with rebates from their local utility. This is just an example from the electrical distributors, which is where I have spent a lot of my time. So go back to your homepage, use a lot of that content you already have there, but as little copy as possible. The attention span of folks today is so short, seconds. So replace a lot of that copy that's good on your website, especially from an SEO perspective, search engine optimization perspective. Use a lot of that, but replace it with video, infographics, illustrations, animations. You have a lot of options to simplify the content that you want to get across. Make sure up front, top of the fold, you are presenting your offer. What's the offer? In the example I just presented, free energy audit of your business. You're going to want a single call to action. Again, tunnel vision. You don't want people jumping around and losing their train of thought. So this is, schedule a meeting via my Calendly to talk about the audit, or contact us via this form, or whatever it might be, or pick up the phone and here's our phone number, or provide us your phone number and we're going to send you a text message. There are a bunch of options. So keep it very single focus to one call to action. Now you can repeat that call to action on that page as often as you want. So if someone needs to scroll and you have content and images for, let's say, 3 pages, I expect to see that call to action on all 3 of those pages as you scroll. Don't make people search for it. And again, like we discussed earlier, third-party validation always helps, because now we're talking about people that weren't looking for you, but you went out and brought them to your landing page. So you're going to want to show the peer validations and the third-party seals, as I mentioned, and live chat. Always be there, with a real human ready to talk to someone, especially if you've spent money driving a lead to your landing page. Don't force them to, go through your call to action. Be there with your live chat. And this is another opportunity to use that proactive live chat rather than just reactive, where you're saying, hey, thanks for coming to our landing page on energy audits. How can I help you? Can we set up a meeting? And Talk2 actually has an amazing service. The chat I mentioned earlier, the tawk.to, where you can hire chat agents, people to man your live chat, real humans, for $1 an hour. I kid you not. I've used them for before I started my agency 2.5 years ago. I was with US Electrical, a subsidiary of CED. These are all billion-dollar businesses I've worked for, but I used Talk2 and had a team of folks manning our live chat on our landing pages and our website. And they were like the first line of defense. And if we would provide them with an FAQ of everything and anything they customers would ask, and they use that to communicate with customers. And if customers needed more info, then they would patch us in. And they could do a hot transfer via that chat platform. Very important that on your landing page, you integrate it with either your CRM, your email service provider, or your marketing automation software. Typically, those 3 platforms I just mentioned, you could buy in one platform, like a HubSpot, like a Zoho. There are hundreds of these platforms. But the idea here is, anytime you've spent money to drive someone to your landing page and you've captured a lead, you want that lead to go automatically into your marketing automation. So that's automated email marketing. So you can continue to drip this person and you have them on your list. So you can do that easier than you think. The 2 platforms I mentioned integrate with Zapier. Zapier is a drag and drop tool, and they have a free account where you can say, I want to integrate Unbounce and HubSpot. And any new leads that I get in Unbounce automatically go into HubSpot. Like, it's just a mapping, and you can set it up in 5 minutes. And A/B test. I can't stress this enough. When you go up with your landing page, don't assume it is optimal. So you can create multiple versions, and you're gonna want to watch those conversion rates to see where the page is performing best, and then constantly be adding new iterations so that you're testing and honing this in so that it is as effective as possible, and you're not wasting your money on ads to bring people to your site and they're not converting. Now let's talk about lead gen channels. So where should you be driving people from? Where should we be spending money or spending time to pull in leads? Social ads, have seen these work. You could put these on LinkedIn, you could put these on Facebook. I recommend short videos. Those are the most engaging. Take advantage of existing trends. Provide a hook, like how to attach wood to concrete without drilling. Something that would appeal to your target demographic. Make it entertaining. It doesn't need to be professionally filmed. You can just use your iPhone, use your Android, and do it off the cuff. And always include a call to action. What you want people to do. Reach out to you, email you, whatever that might be. Paid search. Paid search is a pretty crowded space, but still has opportunity. This is definitely an area that you're going to want to manage closely. And when you go into paid search, so we're talking Google ads. We're talking on the top of Google, the sponsored ads. You can bid on keywords. You're not going to want to bid on keywords that are common. You're going to want to bid on long tail keywords. So let's say you are, let's say you're trying to sell a ceiling fan for a warehouse. You don't want to just bid on fan or ceiling fan. That is going to be so competitive. You're going to spend so much money for each click, and you're only paying per when you get clicked on. So instead of that short tail of like ceiling fan, go with something like large warehouse industrial ceiling fan with lighting, something like that, and bid on that long tail keyword. It'll be a lot less competitive. And then when you craft your ad, make sure you are being explicit in your ad, because you don't want people clicking on it that aren't serious. So don't be nebulous and wishy-washy. Like, say exactly what you have to offer. If it's a single product, say the price. If it's a service and you have a price, say what the price is. If it's free, say that. But be explicit. And again, here's another place where A/B testing is critical. You can create numerous ads, and you'll want to monitor which ads are performing the best so you don't waste money on ineffective ads. LinkedIn prospecting. This is actually one of the most popular services that we are offering our customers. We have about 30 customers taking advantage of this. So I'm going to give you some DIY tips on how to do it on your own. And if you need help, we're always here. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator starts with that tool. That's about $99 a month on LinkedIn. That will allow you to select your target prospects. So you can define, I want to speak to people at this certain type of company. I want to talk to these job titles. I want to only talk to people in the Midwest. You can define who exactly you want to target and get a list of those people. Then my recommendation is to send them invites to become part of your network. Now, you can't do this. You don't want to do this from your company account. You're going to want to do this from one of the individuals in your C-level or your director, your VP of sales. Again, customers don't want to buy from a company, they want to buy from people. So we're trying here to establish a connection, a relationship, person to person. And before you even get here, you're going to have to make sure whoever's account you're using is fully fleshed out. It has a good headshot, it has a background image, it has good experience information, a good summary. You're going to want to go out and get recommendations for this person. We want to make this person look as legit as possible because we're now using them to go out and sell for the company. This seems all, very obvious. So you can do this manually or you can automate it. But I'm going to first give you the manual steps that you can undergo. So the first is sending invites to those folks in your target list. And accompany those invites with a message. Any messaging you do on LinkedIn has to be ridiculously simple. I get a ton of LinkedIn invites with messages where people are writing a freaking novel. I immediately ignore them. I don't read one word. Or people are embedding videos, or people are embedding white papers. I don't go through any of that because I know they're selling to me. So you have to change the mindset. We're not trying to sell at this point. We're just trying to make a human connection. So often what I'll do, and we automate, is in that message, when you're asking them to be part of your network, tell them why. And a good reason why is we have someone in common. Hey, I see you know Joe B over at ABC Company. How do you know him? We used to work together. Pretend you're at a cocktail party and you may have already had some inclination of who this person is through someone else. Use that as the intro. Then after you've sent that message with the invite, wait a day. If they haven't accepted it, you can go and view their profile. You can go and follow their profile. You can like their content. You can share their content. You can even endorse them for skills, all without being part of their network and a friend. And what happens when you do all those activities is it creates a drip. They are getting mobile app notifications. They're also getting emails that you're taking all these steps. Well, when you do that, they're like, who the heck is this guy? He is super interested in talking to me. It's going to be hard to ignore. And we see when you go through all of those steps, tremendously high acceptance rates and tremendously high engagement rates. So the tools that we use to automate all that, we use Sales Navigator, we use Phantom Buster, we use Dripify, and we use Zapier. I won't go into details on how all those work, but take note and feel free to try it on your own. We're always here to help you. And there's a learn more for more info on the prospecting. Just quickly, some other channels we've been experimenting with that we've seen some nice success is ringless voicemail. There's two systems that we can recommend, Drop and Just Call. With ringless voicemail, you can record a single voicemail and automate it into the voicemail boxes of people en masse. Very powerful. Similarly, you can automate SMSs. We use a tool called Community. It works out really well. And you can send bulk SMSs, and you can set up an entire workflow of SMS messages, text messages. As a marketer, I'm always looking for channels that are not noisy. Email right now is pretty noisy. Paid search, honestly, is noisy. Things like LinkedIn prospecting, not noisy. Ringless voicemail, not at all. SMS automation, not at all. And here, this might surprise you, direct mail. We're back to that. Not noisy. When as of maybe 5 or 10 years ago, I would get 20 pieces of mail every day. Now I'm down to, let's say, 3 or 4, which I love. But we have now taken advantage of that. And we as a digital marketing agency are doing a lot of direct mail. We use Postcard Mania. You can go direct to them if you want. And I have a deal with them where we send out for our customers half-page, full-color postcards. And they will do the list selection for us and the addresses, the printing, and the mailing. They're paying for postage. And the cost back to me is 50 cents per card. Guys, the cost of a postage stamp, I think, is 55 cents now. Like, that's insane. I don't know how they can get that rate for all of those steps. So with all those lead gen channels that we just talked about, the secret here is then putting those leads into your marketing automation. So this is email marketing. So what we do is build lead nurturing workflows, and you can do this on your own. You can use systems like I mentioned, Zoho, HubSpot, where these are automated emails that get sent over a period of time once folks get into our list. And we will often build multiple types of workflows depending on the type of lead. You know, are they resi? Are they commercial contractors? Or you can build them on how far they have come working with you. You know, oh, they've already had a meeting, so now they're going to go into a different workflow. But here's the initial workflow is if they've never spoken to us before, and they get emails that tell them about the company, talk about your value-added services, talk about your differentiators, talk about your promotions, your business program, how they can get net 30 terms, how they can get tax exemption, how they can get special pricing. We like to keep these emails super simple. And the way we've done this and have had a lot of success is using almost no text, just embedding videos. They click through, we'll use Vimeo to host the videos so that there are no distractions when they're watching the videos. Your other option is YouTube, which is free. Vimeo is like, $20 a month. And so they'll see the video embedded, they'll click it, it'll open that platform, and they can watch a video with the messaging. Again, these don't need to be overly complicated videos. Keep them super simple, and use your iPhone to record them. They don't need to be uber professional. But what's important here is that with your email workflows, you're regularly reviewing your open rates. The percentage of people that open your email. And if your open rates are not great, you're going to want to adjust your subject lines. This is another area where I recommend A/B testing. Have different subject lines to see which have the best open rates. You'd be surprised where with the open rates, you got to get creative with your subject lines. You want to shock people so that they open the emails. The next thing you're going to want to review with those emails, which you can do in these email platforms, is review your click-through rates to see, when someone looks through your email, are they clicking through to watch the video or whatever you put there as your call to action. And again, A/B test your content so that you can optimize your click-through rates to get the most people clicking through to act as possible. Another very unnoisy channel that I've only seen a few distributors taking advantage of that I highly recommend is an affiliate program. So with an affiliate program, you can sign up for affiliate networks. There are probably 20, 25. Some examples are like AvantLink or Commission Junction or Rakuten. There's tons. And with these affiliate networks, you sign up, you provide ads or your creatives, your messaging that publishers can use on their website, on their blogs, in their social media, in their YouTube videos. There's endless options for them. You can then pay the publishers either a revenue share for transactions, now that's assuming you have e-commerce, or you can set up a flat fee to pay for leads. The beauty of this is that you're not paying any money up front. You're only paying money when someone brings you a lead or a transaction. And you can set your own rates. Like this is a no-brainer. So most of this is used for B2C, to be totally transparent. Most of the publishers are B2C, but not all. So look on the networks. You can search through the networks and look at what type of publishers they have. And you can invite them to become your affiliate. One of the key aspects of this is that you're going to have to drop a conversion tag into your landing page or wherever you're bringing folks from your ad or your creative. And that conversion tag lets the affiliate network know that a conversion has taken place. So those systems that I had mentioned earlier, like Unbounce and Instapage, they make it really easy to do something like this. This is pretty common. And what that helps is that when a publisher brings you a lead, you can then pay the affiliate network, and then the affiliate network pays the publisher. And the affiliate network takes a rake off the top, and I've negotiated with these networks as low as 0.5 point of a commission percentage. So it's not much. Marketplaces. Another great channel to drive some additional revenue into your distributor. Most distributors are not taking advantage of Amazon Business. We all see Amazon Business as the biggest competitor out there, about to put us out of business. But you know what? If you can't beat them, join them, and you can add revenue. So if you do set up an Amazon Business account, make sure you set up quantity discounts. And let me actually, before I go on, you can ignore Amazon Business. Keep this in mind. You're selling for potentially, hundreds to thousands of suppliers. Other distributors and the suppliers themselves are selling on those same products on Amazon Business. So why wouldn't you want to be up there too? We use it as a lead gen channel to drive people away from Amazon Business to your own, coming to you direct. The way we do that is with box stuffers. So as soon as someone places an order on Amazon Business, you pick, pack, and ship it, make sure you include a stuffer in the box that entices them with a promotion to not go back to Amazon, but to come to you directly. Anyway, when you set up your Amazon Business account, set up quantity discounts so that your B2B buyers can buy in bulk and get discounts. And being price competitive is key only so you need to be price competitive if there are competitors. So you're going to want someone actively managing your Amazon Business. And we do this as one of our services. If you're the only one up there with that product, or you're the only one up there with that product in stock, well, you better set your pricing at MAP, manufactured advertised price, or set it above. You don't need to be competitive. And people will spend more on Amazon because they get Prime. Speaking of Prime, if there is no Prime offering on the product, and you can be price competitive, you should send your items to FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. So again, something we can help you with if you need it, but it's not that complicated. You basically set up what you want to send, print out a shipping label, and send a box to Amazon, and they will then do your distribution for you. And it gives you a leg up on the competition because you're Prime, and you don't even need to be the lowest price once you're Prime. People will pay more. Then once you exhaust your opportunities on Amazon, which might take a while, you can consider other marketplaces like Walmart, eBay, and Etsy. And what we see, maybe all those three combined plus others, about 10% of the volume. Amazon's worth is where you should spend your time. And comparison shopping engines. So there are multiple comparison shopping engines that are specifically B2B. Here are 3 of them that I've worked with. 2 of these actually are my clients. And you can work with them where you pay to list your products on these shopping engines, or you can sign up for an affiliate program. And just these guys are all publishers that I mentioned earlier. So you can just pay them when you see a conversion. So these are 3 places that I've spoken to hundreds of purchasing agents throughout my career. These are 3 places that purchasing agents go first. First thing in the morning when they need to make a purchase, they don't go direct to your site. They're going here looking for parts because they can find pricing and inventory across a ton of distributors and manufacturers direct, all in one place. By the way, FCH is Fasteners Clearinghouse, but they have more than just fasteners. Mectronic is all types of B2B parts, and same with Octopart. And that about sums it up. Happy to answer any questions. If you want to learn more about my company or about me or about a podcast that I host, there's some links in this presentation that you can click on and check out. But we will, I think we have some time, Mike, we can open the floor up for questions.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. And thanks so much. I mean, just a bunch of information there, right? I think some great things for people to think about. A couple of questions that came in when you look at social media, right? And you talked about posting content, knowing what our distributors focus on. Can you give some just ideas, Mike, off the top of your head of maybe some good content that would work on those social media posts?
Well, I love that, and I see a lot of activity around how-tos, helping your target customers with their everyday needs. Like, I don't know, how to sharpen a saw blade. And you film a 20-second, 30-second video, just not professional, showing folks how to sharpen a saw blade. Like simple pieces of content like that. Just look at your product mix and think about how those products are used. Talk to your customer service team. Find out what kind of questions are being asked. And as a side note, you should take those questions that are asked to customer service and you should be building an FAQ for your website. Like that should be a standard practice. But look through those questions, product specific questions, and answer them with videos. Especially if you get more than one person asking the same things. So yeah. Other easy ways to find out what kind of content is just pick up the phone and talk to your customers. Ask them what they're working on, what projects they're working on, what tools do they need, what other challenges. I guarantee you'll leave that meeting with ideas on content you could put together that other people would be interested in also.
Yeah, that's great. So I think one more question I want to cover here, Mike. So you covered a lot of different topics and opportunities, right, when it comes to marketing your company digitally. I know we have some distributors, and seeing who's on our call right now, they may be at stage 1 where they have a website that's outdated and they're not doing any sorts of digital marketing. From what you covered today, what are the top 2 or 3 things that you're like, hey, here's where I would start? These are the 2 or 3 things that I think you'd get the most return on investment for.
I honestly, you have to start with your own website because that is like your storefront in this decade. You have to, and just go back to the beginning of my presentation, you have to build it out to answer the questions that I asked. It's the who are you, why should I trust you type questions. Because no matter if you go out and do lead gen and people hear about you, they're going to check you out. They're going to check you out by Googling and finding your website. They're going to check you out by going to your social. So you have to kind of get your house in order first. So I would do that with your own website and with your social media platforms. You don't have to be super active with your social. We typically are recommending posting twice a week, and it doesn't need to. It's so easy to like just throw up a survey. Like the networks have those tools all built in where you can just say, what tool would you use for this application, and give people three options. Like content like that keeps you active, makes you look legit and real, and as an expert.
Nice.
So that's where I would start.
Nice.
Website and getting your social accounts straight and in order.
Awesome. Well, I think that covers most of the questions. Mike, thank you so much for taking time, man, to put this together. Just a great training this morning. Members, I'm going to send this deck and recording out to everybody with copy to Mike. So if you have any specific questions about your business, I've been working and talking with Mike for the last few months and really seeing the power he's had in his company, right, with working with distributors throughout the country in different spaces. And he really knows the stuff and really knows how to bring, that return when it comes to marketing and really enhancing your digital footprint. So Mike, thanks so much again, man, for doing this webinar for us. Members, thanks for taking time to hop on this morning. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day, and look for that recording link for me a bit later today.
Thanks for the opportunity, Mike. I really appreciate it.
You got it, man. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.